welcome. So yes, good evening. So arrived today on a Sunday was from Mad King. He's basically, I spoke to him, he's basically doing a clear out of basically faulty and returned shoes or shoes with marks, shoes with say the batteries not working or a lace fault or whatever, but all cheap, just to clear them out. But so they are single shoes, and obviously there'll be a left or a right, random sizes. But if somebody wants a cheap shoe that they can then fix up, have as wall art, have in their wardrobe, you know what I mean, that kind of scenario, then yes, my boy Mad King has some of these, which is really cool. So yeah, let's have a look at this then. And so like I say, they're cheap. And you think these V4s, they're basically £1,100 a pair. Obviously that's a pair that's working. And these are cheap. And here we go. And this is the first time I've looked at it. I can't even remember what size I ordered from him, but he had a few left, he did. So this one here, I think it was size 9. So obviously it's a right hand side, size 9. And quick look at it. And again, most of these are just basically returns. So they've either got scuffs on, or they're returns where, you know, maybe some LEDs are working, lights are working, a lace is jammed, whatever. But yeah, I mean, that, you look at that, and it is absolutely, well, from initial look, it looks absolutely pristine. That's the on-off switch, but that's the lace switch there. Let's turn it. Let me just see if it does anything at all. Okay, so there's nothing at the moment. So in a second, I'll plug it into charge and see what it does. And obviously, one of these buttons here, this one here, is the one for the laces. Okay, so it looks mint. There's nothing on at the moment, but let me quickly plug it in, and then I'll restart the video. Cool. Right then, yep, so as you can clearly see, I've just plugged it into the charger that I had. So it doesn't come with a charger, but got my chargers for my V4s, and yep, it's flashing like it should do. I'm not going to press it on or off yet, because I want to leave it on charge just for half an hour. Then I can try it and see if anything's working properly, or if maybe the battery itself is potentially dud. But yeah, the shoe itself is basically absolutely pristine. So I'm hoping it's just maybe a faulty battery, and that's why the person returned it, you know. But yeah, I like it. Okay, let me leave it on charge for a bit and then come back to that in a minute. Right then, yeah, okay, so the plan with these then is, have a look at them. Okay, so press them on. Okay, so on and off obviously works. And then if you do the auto laces, this is where the problem is that basically the laces have come off the mechanism. So press the button there, so listen. Okay. So yes, you can see, if I pull this out, you'll see that the laces have come off the mechanism down here. So I've seen right then, yes, so using a combination of tools, so brand new sharp blade, something like this is incredibly handy, because also you can get in there and use it sort of slicing action. That's what I needed. Scissors, long nose scissors and pliers, etc. And anyway, here's the mechanism here. Okay, so technique I used was to cut through the outer layer first with a nice sharp sort of cut through here. Now it might sound stupid here, but it cuts here, middle of the shoe, effectively above the battery. The reason you don't want to cut anywhere in this section here is because all these wires, you'll slice through these wires so easily, then they're such a pain to resolder, because there's no length to them. So if you have to resolder, you have to get both your hands in there and resolder them. For example, this underneath the pink bit here, there's a connector there, which is glued to the back of this pink section. And they say you've got, you know, millimeters of room to work if you cut through anything, so don't do that. There's the motor in there. Once you say cut through this outer layer here, then you can then slice through the pink layer a few times. Again, middle of the show here, obviously the battery's there, yeah, so don't slice through the battery, but you'll feel it when it cuts through, you'll feel it. Then you can use this tool here to get in underneath it and just sort of gradually peel it up. But I'm telling you, this stuff here is exceptionally glued on tight, as expected. Same with that, and then you can use that same tool to get in there and sort of ease it up there. You can't put it, you know, you end up damaging the shoe, so the cutting action works really well. Now underneath here, the laces go in like these rubber channels down here, and there's one there, there's one further forward, and there's one there, and there's one there, so roughly speaking. And here, these wires, that's the switch there that's probably gone faulty or had an issue. That's one there that stops the sensors when the laces are open and closed, and not to open them or close them further. So that's the issue there. So I'm going to get in there now, potentially warm this up so I can bend this open carefully. So I want to better reseal it again later, but this is hard plastic. And then like I said, I'll get to the mechanism, get to where the laces go, and then somehow I'll go from there. Cool. Right then, yeah, okay, so here we go. So here's a sensor. So I'm going to zoom in. So how this works, I believe, yeah, is that this is the key lace here. So this lace here is different from the other laces, as obviously that groove in it. And just down there, you can see the sensor that operates with this groove, which is there. So there's a top part of the sensor there, and below it, you can just about see on the right hand side, just below it, is an identical sensor. Now I'd imagine that the sensors work, you know, they open and close a shoe when the sort of magnetic power, for example, you know, can be transmitted between the two sensors through this gap. And then once it gets to the end of the lace and the magnetic sort of sensor is blocked, then it probably causes it to switch it switches the lace direction into reverse, so that it can open up again. So I kind of feel that it's probably badly explained, but I kind of feel that that's how that switch would work. It would only work when the power can be transmitted through this little gap. So what I'm going to do now is, you see it's bloody tricky, there's hardly any room and all that sort of stuff, you know. I'm going to put in obviously this lace here and then the main sensor lace, and try and work out how I'm going to get those two laces back underneath the cogs and into the correct position. And then once they're in, I can then work on the third and fourth lace, because obviously it'd be a bit easier to work on. But you see, you've obviously not got much room, you know. You've got, right now, yes, you have got room to get a good old hand in there. But obviously once all four laces are in, it becomes very, very tricky. So yeah, that's where the skill is required. Right, let me otherwise crack on, and otherwise, yeah, everything else is still working. Cool. Right then, yeah. Okay, so you can see here now, if I zoom in, all four laces are in the right place. So it's those two. I don't know if you can see it, but you can just about see the lace there and the lace there. So they're all in the sort of starting positions. And as I'm doing this one-handed, I'll then put some tape on here as well, so I can then feed them all in at the same speed, hopefully, using the button, just sort of get them started. Remember, you know, once you press it once, it goes forwards. As soon as you let it go, press it again, it goes backwards. So you have to sort of think what you're doing, kind of thing. That's all, whilst also trying to keep the shoes clean and tidy as well. So yeah, let me have a go now and getting these laces back in again. Right, yeah, so basically it's working. So if I focus down there, you can see the sensor, which is right in between the gap of the lace, and if you look right through the middle of the sensor, you can see the grey rubber of the boot itself. And yes, I can indeed confirm that you open and close a shoe, and it works as long as the sensor is in between the gap. As soon as the sensor is blocked by the lace, then it stops the shoe. Then you press the button again, it goes into the reverse direction automatically. So that's obviously how it works. So yeah, put the laces back in. They all look really nice and uniform on there. And I've closed it and opened it a few times, and they close really nicely. So I'm now going to bend back the piece of plastic that's this underneath there. Get it all back together again. I'm obviously not going to bother gluing anything down until I've tested it, it's reliable, etc, etc. But as this pair is a pair anyway that I'm going to just have on display in the car, realistically I'll just lightly glue this piece here back on. Someday you want to get access anyway to the battery in the future anyway, so that's fine. But yes, I am pleased with that. That's potentially very, very good. So yeah, I'll neaten it up now, and I'll show you guys it working once I go inside. Cool. Nice, absolutely spot on. Again, it's flashing because it's on charge, but yeah, $150 that cost, plus like an hour's work, and really, really great. So thank you, Emma King, for the deal on that one. Beautiful, love it. Cheers all. Thanks a lot for watching. All the best.